Hey everybody, it's Ty over McDermott Design, and today we're going to be going over the installation of our new Can-Am Maverick R spare tire mount and storage box. So the first thing that we're going to do is, if you have the Lynx mounting system in the bed, we're going to pull all that out. Also, if you have the covers for the little side cubbies here, we're going to go ahead and remove those too. Clear any dust, debris, or anything out of the bottom of the bed, get it all nice, clean, and prepped, and get going on the install. Okay, so the first step is we are going to drill the plastic in one of the mounting hole locations. It's going to be the one closest to the rear of the car, all the way out to the left and the right side. There's one location, and we're just drilling that out in order to open up the plastic a little bit and be able to fit the bolt through it. With at least a 5/16 drill bit, that's the size of our bolt, we're going to go ahead and drill out this hole. So again, it is the farthest out towards the rear of the car and then all the way up against the sidewall. And this is the same location on the opposite side of the car as well. So the reason why I'm using 5/16 is that's the size of the bolt, but if you have a drill bit that's a little bit bigger, somewhere around there, that'll work just fine. There is a square metal tube on the bottom side of this bolt hole, and I'm not necessarily trying to get that far into it. I'm just trying to open up the plastic a little bit because the hole going through the metal tube is already oversized and big enough for the bolt. So we're just opening up this plastic just a tiny bit. Okay, so now that we have the two holes drilled out and ready for the hardware, we're going to take one half of our storage box and put it in the bed, followed by the opposite side, bolt them together, and then mount them down to the bed with our hardware provided. We're going to need a 13mm wrench and a socket in order to get started for bolting the two halves together before we fasten it to the bed itself. So let's go ahead and start with that. So now that we have the box in the back of the car, we're going to go ahead and open the lids and bolt them together. Since there's a gas strut on the lid, we're going to be careful while we're opening it, just so it doesn't fly up. So hand on top while we go to open it, lid up. We're going to put the bolt through the lid to tie the two together for smooth operation when you have the tire mounted to the top. You're going to have a short M6 bolt with a neoprene washer that's going to go in between the lids. So we're going to use a 10mm wrench and a 10mm socket to get that installed. What I'm going to do to get this in is I'm going to take the washer off of the bolt. I'm going to pull one of the lids down, run the bolt through, put the washer in the middle, raise it back up so it's in between the lids, and then tie the two together. So let's go ahead and get that done. And then we're going to go ahead and grab those 13mm tools that we talked about with the provided hardware and bolt them together. So for this part of the install, we're going to be putting our bolts to attach the two halves of the boxes together. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. For this portion, it may be easier for you to access everything with the divider panels out. So if you want to go ahead and take those out to do that, that's what I have done here. And then we're going to start putting these two halves together. So the first step to bolt this thing down, we're going to take the supplied M6 hardware with the aluminum washers, and we're going to install these into the 2 mount holes that we did not drill out. So it's going to be the one up here in the center and then the one in the far back corner. And we're going to do that using a 10mm socket wrench. And we're going into a captive nut plate in the frame already, so there's nothing on the back side that we need to worry about. So let's go ahead and get those installed. So we're going to repeat those 2 bolts on the opposite side as well, and then we're going to move on to the supplied M8 hardware into the hole that we just drilled out. So we're going to be using a 12mm socket on the top and a 13mm wrench on the bottom, and that is going through the frame rail with access on the underside here in your wheel well. So let's go ahead and do that. And with that, we've completed the installation of the Mav R storage box and spare tire mount. If you remove the divider panels, you can go ahead and put them back in now, and we're all ready to go out and hit the trails. And that's it. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.